Andrew Tate loves the image of an alpha who can take defeat on the chin, but when the moment came, there was no chin to take it. Instead, the excuses came out fast. The self-proclaimed top G suddenly looked less like a combat icon and more like a contender for the undisputed world title of excuse-making. In that moment, he joined a long tradition in combat sports, one throne once occupied by Logan Paul. Back in his Vine-era fame, Logan turned a boxing loss to KSI into one of the most legendary cop-outs ever recorded. His explanation wasn't strategy, injury, or bad judging. It was allergies. According to him, the fight was lost because he sneezed 3 times that morning. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And just like that, a loss in the ring became a win for excuses, proving that when ego gets hit harder than the body, the imagination goes to work. Andrew Tate is a true heavyweight of yap culture. He can talk for hours while saying absolutely nothing, so naturally his excuse wasn't short or simple. As a long-form specialist, he delivered an explanation that stretched nearly an hour. Along the way, he spiced it up with tweets that looked like confessions to crimes he never committed. At one point, he claimed he deliberately lost after betting on himself. Then reality set in, the tweet vanished, and the story quietly changed. But the tweets were just garnish. The main event was a live stream where Tate wore oversized sunglasses, clearly designed to hide the bruises handed to him by a YouTuber in pink gloves. From there, he began far away from the actual fight, drifting into speeches about how people shouldn't fear public opinion and should live freely. Ironically, it was public opinion that pushed him to handpick the weakest possible opponent in hopes of locking in an easy win. He framed the fight as a noble sacrifice, saying he didn't need to do it and did it for everyone else. And for that, people are grateful, because it was genuinely hilarious. When translated into normal human language, though, the message is simple. Things aren't going well for the Tate brothers. So badly, in fact, that they're willing to risk their tough guy image and step into the ring just for a paycheck. Plenty of real options existed. He could have fought someone like Darren Till, a former professional who hits like a truck. But one clean punch from Till would have ended the storyline instantly. Afraid of becoming a public punchline, Tate chose the safest route available, then doubled down with a lecture about how caring what others think means they control you. Which is ironic considering every decision he made proved just how much public opinion mattered.
Translated from the language of a habitual liar and failed manipulator, the message is simple. Tate is deeply dependent on other people's opinions. That dependence keeps him detached from reality, and the moment he finally collided with it, he got hit so hard that he ended up sitting in front of a Christmas tree explaining himself. The irony is painful. He preaches independence from public opinion, yet his actions scream the exact opposite. He even lectures about how trying to guarantee praise by cheating, cutting corners, or being sneaky means other people already own you. That speech would land a lot harder if it wasn't coming from someone who quietly deleted world champion from his social media bio. So yes, despite all the bravado, there are still traces of shame left. Naturally, Andrew doubled down, repeating the same talking point while fight footage told a very different story. In reality, he avoided clinches, intentionally dropped to the canvas to catch his breath, and used every survival tactic possible. The funny part is that real boxers do those things to win. Andrew did them simply to avoid collapsing from exhaustion. The punches he absorbed seemed to do more damage to his excuses than to his opponent. At one point, he even called himself an idiot for taking the fight, then immediately slipped in more excuses. The opponent was younger, bigger, heavier, and more active. What he didn't mention is that he chose the weight class and the opponent himself. And let's be honest, Chase isn't even a boxer, he's an influencer. Tate claims he doesn't care about mockery, yet removed his world champion label and floated the idea that he bet on his own loss. He says a loss is temporary, but the truth is simple. Chase DeMoore will forever be remembered as the man who easily beat Andrew Tate. Tate says he doesn't know why he lost or why he got tired after round 2, despite being visibly exhausted after the first minute. The reasons are obvious. Poor conditioning, bad habits, and a lifestyle he promotes to teenagers as harmless. No substances, no image, and no excuses can replace real cardio, real skill, or real preparation. And despite claiming he won the first 2 rounds, the truth is harsher. He didn't win them. Compared to the later rounds where he was completely exposed, he was simply less embarrassed early on.
Tate starts throwing wide, desperate overheads, a classic beginner response when nothing is landing. Chase answers with another clean hook.
Tate dips, stumbles, and briefly looks off balance. He lands a single decent body jab, his first real connection, but immediately follows it by missing again and taking another shot upstairs. By the end of round 1, Tate has thrown more punches, but Chase has landed the meaningful ones. Volume creates an illusion of control, but impact tells the truth. Round 2 repeats the pattern, only worse. Tate is visibly exhausted, legs heavy, balance gone, reaction slow. He misses, gets countered, clinches to survive, and absorbs clean shots whenever Chase steps forward. Despite later claiming he couldn't be touched, Tate never controlled a single moment of the fight. Losing a round has somehow become a moral victory for him. And when excuses follow, fatigue, age, weight, clinching, they collapse under scrutiny. He chose the opponent, he chose the conditions, he chose the fight. Then comes the contradiction. After dismissing the win, he lectures about honor, debts, and respecting outcomes. Karma, he says, punishes those who deny reality. Ironically, that lesson applies most directly to him. What follows is not analysis, but deflection dressed up as philosophy. At that point, the breakdown is complete, not just of performance, but of credibility.